Hear that sound?
We are showing you guilt-free sheet pan meals that are easy to make, even easier to enjoy.
Who's up for teriyaki chicken with green beans?
That is nothing but pure, bona fide flavor and juicy chicken.
And
A gorgeous sheet pan miso glazed sea bass. It's delicious.
plus,
This is so simple.
Suzanne Somers is dishing up her divine roast chicken.
Suzanne, look at that chicken. That's next. Let's dish. The kitchen has always been at the center of my world because life is more delicious when it's full of food and fun.
Everybody knows me as a culinary expert and food judge on television, but also I'm mom trying to get dinner on the table.
From Hollywood to home, I bring Southern sweet and Caribbean heat, and I'm not afraid to stir the pot.
Good food, good friends, good dish. Welcome to the Good Dish. Today we are showing you guilt-free sheet pan meals that are easy to make, even easier to enjoy. These are what I turn to when I want to eat clean and still enjoy a delightful bite and keep it really fast.
Well, it's just also what I turn to on a weeknight when I need to cook for more than just myself and I can't really think about it. I don't have time to plan. And the greatest thing about sheet pan dinners is that they cook with less oil, so they help make natural flavors, really, they bring out natural flavors of the spices and the ingredients you're cooking with, and you don't need a lot of grease or oil to cook them in.
And they make great instruments. Like, I could really get
Obviously.
into this. I never was in the marching band. I could do this.
Okay,
We fulfilled your dream right there.
So many undiscovered talents of Jamaica. No, I have to agree, and I also think because they're beautiful because of the quickness of the roast and things of that nature. I'm gonna show you a delicious teriyaki chicken meal today with green beans that cooks up in 15 minutes. It's so simple, but exactly to your point, you use less oil, you develop gorgeous color, gorgeous flavor, and you don't really have to work for it at all, which is love it.
Yep. As long as you get the timing of when the ingredients should go onto the pan and you're using ingredients that are all the same size
Excellent
generally, or that you can layer in at different times so that they, at the end of it all, are cooked at the same time. It's like a great method to cook with.
Very early on in the show, I remember we created our sheet pan formula that was about creating beautiful color, delicious flavor, and a big part of that was making sure that what you're putting on the tray is gonna cook at the same time, or adding things at different points. Like if you wanted to roast sweet potato wedges with this meal, you'd stick those in the oven first and then come back out and add your protein things on, because they just take a little longer to roast. That's not what we're doing today, though. Today, I created a sheet pan meal that's gonna make it easy for you to do the right thing while making dinner that's delicious, that everyone can tuck in on, and you don't have to make a bunch of different dirty plates and things to clean up at the end of the meal, which is lovely. One of the goals of my new cookbook, Eat Your Heart Out, which you guys have been hearing about all week, and thank you so much for pre-ordering and ordering it, and I hope you dig in and get the pages dirty and send me your pics, tag me. I love, love, love seeing you guys make these recipes at home and hopefully feeling great while doing them. But one of my goals was to eliminate the barriers to eating clean. I think a lot of us strive for longevity. We want better energy, we want weight loss, we want better skin, but on the whole, it can be very easy to shy away from a lot of plans out there because it looks like more work than you think you might want to handle. So have you had that feeling before?
Oh, yeah, and I'm all in, and then day two, it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like this.
I'm deterred before I even get to day one.
You're like, look at the shopping list. You're like, no, thank you.
Oh, gosh. It's exhausting. It really is.
And it's also, we obviously chose this line of work because we love food and we love to have fun with food. And I think that sometimes the restrictions and the guidelines and the rules and whatever, it makes all the joy go away. And so that was a big part of the plan here with Eat Your Heart Out, is let's keep it very similar to the way that you like to eat, lighten it up, make it a little healthier for you, make it something where you're gonna eat this meal, you're gonna feel full, but you'll still fit in your pants like the whole thing.
Yes, and it tastes good. That's the most important. They taste good.
Well, and that's what's been so great, because all week long you've been sharing these really delicious, nutritious recipes from the book. One of the recipes that I really was struck by was this recipe, this sheet pan chicken with teriyaki and green beans, because it is simple. There are very few people I know who don't love a good teriyaki chicken, admit it or not. And it just makes life easy for you. So I'm excited that you get to make it for us today.
Let me show you how we put it together. So to a saucepan that I'm gonna put over medium heat, I'm adding some tamari, which is again a great gluten-free alternative to soy sauce. You can use coconut aminos if you'd like. Some water, because we are gonna bring this up to a simmer and you want it to have time to really cook that fresh garlic and ginger we're gonna add in. I am also going to add in a little vinegar, some rice wine vinegar, grated ginger and garlic. Now, I'm gonna add in my date syrup, which we all know is everyone's new favorite thing.
If you haven't been paying attention, we love date syrup here on The Good Dish.
I think it's all sold out on Amazon at this point,
Yes,
folks. Everybody went and they got it.
By me and Jamaica.
Honestly, you got to stock up on it now. You can't afford a shortage of date syrup. Jamaica, can I ask you to give me a hand making some slurry?
Oh, okay,
So
sure.
that's tapioca with a little bit of water that Jamaica's just going to stir together. Tapioca flour is a great, healthy and easy thickener for a sauce like this. It really does give that beautiful kind of silken, velvety texture on a teriyaki sauce that we love. So you just want to dissolve it in a little water first, and then as your sauce comes up to a simmer, which it should do any minute now, my dear friend.
Don't look at it. It'll never happen if you look at it.
It's getting there. It's getting there. Finally, all these months in, I finally learned how to use this stove, so I know how to turn it up now.
Would you give me a tutorial after?
Yes, it's.
never
You know
know
what's
how to work
ridiculous? Once I had it taught to me, it's actually fairly self-explanatory. But 3 extremely intelligent women have not been able to figure this out for literal months. So here we are, finally getting the handle on the stove. Okay, so it's beautiful. Yes, that's
Nice
great.
and bubbly.
Yeah, please go ahead and stir that in.
All right.
And thank you so much. So, and you'll see how quickly, within that first minute, the sauce starts to get beautiful, luscious, and thick looking. Some sesame seeds, which just add that wonderful flair and flavor. And that's pretty much it. It doesn't take very long to cook at all. You're gonna let this sauce cool and then divide it in 2 because we're gonna dress our chicken thighs with the sauce first.
Like right here? Or?
Not yet, I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I like to do is just give a little olive oil greasing to our sheet pan. You can definitely put parchment paper down instead. Whatever you'd like to do is easy, whatever makes sense for you. And then I take my chicken thighs. This works great with chicken breast also, absolutely. And then Gail, if you'll just start giving them a little brush with my teriyaki glaze.
That is a sticky teriyaki. It is.
It is,
right
it
into
is.
the chicken thighs.
Isn't that
Look
great
at
looking? I know.
Oh yeah, that's
Very
not running
glazy.
off.
Let me wash my hands quickly. You guys
Yeah, do it.
continue on
I'm gonna
that.
keep glazing over here.
A real glazing.
Oh yes.
Beautiful.
Look at that sauce.
That looks awesome. And just while you go ahead and give those a nice little lacquer, then I have a whole bushel full of green beans over here that I'm gonna do very simply with just some salt, pepper, and neutral oil. You can use olive oil, you can use grapeseed oil, and just give those a quick toss. And the beautiful thing is green beans are obviously so tender, and we are about to be in the season where they are sweet and perfectly ripe all summer long. So definitely a great veggie to pick up because they are gonna cook so fast and yet be tender and full of crunch as we roast up these chicken thighs.
I'll move over.
The only, thank you. We're
well,
just
we
doing our little kitchen
do a
dance.
dance,
We
it's
do our
no
little
problem.
kitchen dance. The only thing, and this was one of our original sort of sheet pan hacks that you want to make sure to do when you're layering out your sheet pan is to keep everything in one single file. You don't want your veggies or chicken to steam. And this is a great thing. If you're turning the oven on anyway, you might as well do 2 sheet trays. And that way you will guarantee yourself golden brown color across all lovely leftovers to layer into your meals throughout the week. These are gonna go in a 400-degree oven, 12 to 15 minutes. They're gonna come out looking like this. And I'll give you a hot tip. Oh, but first let's look. Before the hot tip, let's look at the golden brown, perfectly charred green beans, juicy, beautifully cooked chicken. Oh my gosh. Also, like you walk away for 15 minutes and dinner's done. Like that's what's so incredible about a meal like this.
Smells great.
Let me make you a lovely plate
please.
here.
The thing about this, you capture the essence of all the great things we love about teriyaki without the sweetness. Because that's what bothers me sometimes. It's way too sweet. I taste nothing but sugar.
Yes.
That is nothing but pure, bona fide flavor and juicy chicken. It's a good one, Daphne. It's a good one.
I love it.
Good, good, good.
Juicy chicken are my 2 favorite words.
Juicy chicken, perfectly cooked green
Right
bean.
here.
Guys, I have another sheet pan dinner idea coming up later in the show. But first, Suzanne Somers is joining us from her home kitchen. She's given us her secret to roast chicken. Talk about a thigh master. And she's revealing how she stays so young and beautiful and healthy.
Like something you saw on the show today? We're dishing all the details on the good list. All the recipes, important tips, and tricks, all in one place. So stay tuned until the end of the show when we'll share the good list QR code. You can scan to send it all right to your phone.
Welcome back. I am so excited to dish with our next guest. She's America's favorite sitcom roommate, a fitness legend, and someone who has more than a few tricks up her sleeve to stay young, healthy, and vibrant at any age. And now, through her Instagram, she is inviting us all into her kitchen, sharing her favorite recipes. Please welcome, all the way from her home in Southern California, Suzanne Somers.
Hi there, how are you?
Hello. We're great. We're even better now that you're here. So nice of you to join us.
I love that, dishing with Suzanne Somers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing all your cooking now every week on Instagram, which is so fun to get to see. It's just, even more wonderful, Suzanne Somers for everyone to get to enjoy. Have you always been a home cook? Is this a newfound passion? How did that develop?
You know, what's interesting. People love the cooking demos. I started cooking when I was 5 years old. I made beef stroganoff. It's just been a thing.
Oh
I think people have the feel. You know what I mean? You either have the feel or you don't. If you don't have the feel, then you can follow a recipe and do real well. If you have the feel, you have the luxury of grabbing and pulling and saying, that would be good. So I cook dinner for Alan. We have the best time. We have a tequila, and then we have some great dinner that comes out of my head.
Do you think the stomach is the way to a man's heart? Have you employed that strategy? Look at you guys. You're so good together. So cute.
Our first date, I invited him over to my house, and I made Cornish hens and chocolate souffle. And I fed him the chocolate souffle lying on my shag rug, as was the way in the 70s.
And I prepared you for that. Oh my gosh.
Chocolate souffle into his mouth, followed by cold whipped cream. He was all in. I had him.
Kill all the rest of our questions. I need to know everything else that happened before, during, and after. This is amazing. Wow, that's beautiful.
It's such a creative thing. It's never been a chore for me. I've always really enjoyed it.
But you speak to being loose and having that feel in the kitchen and having it not be something that stresses you out. It's a creative thing, as you just described. And I do think that's where we all want to get to is having the time in the kitchen be playful and creative, and then you end up on the shag rug with souffle and mousse and it's all whipped cream.
I also think that your generation, and to some degree my generation, did not learn at our mother's knee. We are the first generation whose mothers went to work. Mm-hmm. And so before that, little girls were always on a stool in the kitchen, being able to throw the cup of sugar in, and the mother was teaching the girl how to cook, and little boys, but mainly it was little girls. And I think now it's fallen on people like myself and yourselves to teach them how to cook.
Mm-hmm. Well, you feel so self-sufficient having that skill set, because you do. I mean, look, we all eat, we all have families to feed. Like that nourishment is a part of everyday human life, and it does. You feel so good being able to provide in that way, which I think being able to give people that confidence and that inspiration that you do is really powerful. And you touched on something else, which is, just the evolution of roles throughout time and of exposure throughout time. And I did want to ask you this, just, when you were on, of course, Three's Company, iconic character that you were, a beautiful and extra lovable and ditzy blonde Chrissy Snow. I'm curious, I gather your granddaughters are now getting into acting as well. Whether you think roles have changed, that the roles that are open to women that are sort of the standard role for women to play, if they've moved away from those sort of stereotypes into more three-dimensional characters, and how you think that's happened over time.
Well, I was on television at a perfect time. There were 3 networks, and if you're on the number one show on the number one network, it really mattered. So whereas everybody knew my name, and it still continues. I was in Israel right before the pandemic and had a meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu. And he said, I know all about the books, but I've been watching you for 25 years. And I said, you have? And he said, yeah, for the longest time in Israel, we had one television station and one sitcom. And so that character had a soul. That's why you liked her. Because when I first got the role of Chrissy Snow, I thought, dumb blondes are so irritating. And I thought, how do I make this one lovable and likable? And I gave her a moral code. What she would do and what she wouldn't do. And the audience got to know what she would do and what she wouldn't do. And so clearly she didn't irritate you.
No, she did not. But something else that people are still talking about, yes, young lady, because you posted a video of you and your beloved husband, Alan. Oh, and everybody needs to see this tape because you were just acting out loud with this. Hold on, look at this. Well,
my.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So good.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Wow. Where'd you get these? Nice, huh?
You didn't buy that underwear for him? Oh my God.
No, that's his underwear.
Oh, that's
It's usually camouflage.
Well, hello, Alan.
That was quite popular. You know, you got to do what you got to do to get attention with all this content out there. So normally the husband throws the wife out in her underpants. I throw my husband out in his underpants.
Nice. We support it.
Yeah.
and that looked like quite the at-home massage setup. Is that the secret to keeping a marriage hot and heavy? How many years have you been married for?
54 years.
Oh my God.
54
Incredible.
blissful years. I mean, look at him in that video. He's 85 years old. Doesn't he look amazing?
That
is it.
Also,
I think
like
because
fun. He's like a fun,
I've
great guy.
had him on hormones for 25 years.
Oh, okay.
And I feed him only organic food. And we laugh all the time. And our only bad vice is having a tequila every night. And why not? That's kind of fun. I'm not going to be an alcoholic at this stage of my life. Yeah.
Fair enough.
You're allowed.
Yes.
There you go. And the two of you look fantastic. So yes, we'll be taking notes of everything, including the tequila. All right, but the fun is not over because up next, Suzanne is still with us, and she's demoing how to become a thigh master. Yes, indeed, with her recipe of roast chicken and veggies and a yummy pan sauce.
Delicious.
Tell Alan to come back and strip for us. There we go. Oh, wow. All right, so we are back with the iconic Suzanne Somers. Yes, and Suzanne has been cooking up a storm on Instagram. If you haven't seen it, I don't know where you've been, because 3 days a week, she goes live sharing some of her favorite recipes. Check out this video she did with her sister-in-law for a girls' night in roast chicken.
I like to start on the bottom, and I'm using less expensive olive oil to cook. Now, this is what I'm going to put on next, Hungarian paprika. I am liberal with the paprika, okay? I just put salt.
Makes it such a nice color.
Oh, and it's going to make such great juices on the bottom of the pan.
So what we tried to do is give you Suzanne's country French chicken recipe, right? And it's all pre-measured for you. Can I just read here?
Yeah.
Celtic sea salt, garlic, fennel, lavender, black pepper, marjoram, tarragon, mustard, onion, and extra virgin olive oil. So she's put the seasoning blend, it's all in here for you.
Okay, now liberally. And this is the bottom. This is what's going to cook on the bottom of your pan, yeah. Put the olive oil on the top and the paprika. This is so simple. But be liberal. Don't be afraid of paprika. You can't over paprika. This is going to make it, okay, put some of the sauce, the thing on.
Okay, again, the Infusio Herbe de Provence.
And what I'm creating here is what I call the balls on the bottom of the pan. So take the schmutz that's on the bottom of the pan and just start schmutzing up the top of the chicken. You just follow and do whatever you do. Put a little more paprika on.
Okay.
I want it to be a little more red. You see I'm being very, very liberal. And then we're going to go to town. The beauty of baby yams, not sweet potatoes, yams. They're the ones that are golden orange inside. I just put them in here. Let's say we're having dinner for 4.
Okay.
Now, baby carrots, right? Here are 2 per person.
so country rustic.
I
Look
know.
at her
I
whole-
know. Yeah. And they roast so beautifully. Now, 2 onions. I can feel you thinking, oh, I could do that.
I really tried to match the way Suzanne seasons in all of these.
You
sea salt
achieved
rubs.
it. It's so great.
And this is her Provence seasoning.
Now, I cut the tops off these garlic, and I'm going to use the tops for something else, but you want this garlic here, and rub it, smoosh it on the bottom here. It's all about smooshing. Okay. Now, add a little flavor. Mammy! Put a little.
This is Suzanne making it pretty because literally the flavor is all in here.
It's all in here, but
it's also presentation, and these
And
are
they
the
taste-
extra little things that she does.
and they taste good when you make the sauce. It's like, oh, that was nice. Let's come over here and look at the chicken that is in the oven.
Okay.
I want to wiggle the leg.
Why don't you put the glove on?
I just want to see if this is done or not.
Because I get nervous when...
Oh, this is done. When you can pull the leg like that,
And it comes completely out of the
yeah,
socket.
it's ready.
Oh,
Okay?
you want me to take it out?
Take it out, and then we'll put the one we just finished in. Okay. Oh, it's gorgeous. Look at that. Voila.
Suzanne, look at that chicken.
Delicious.
Simple.
And it looks so flavorful. I have to say, I loved all your schmushing and schmutzing and looshing and whatever else.
Proper culinary terms. Yes,
Smearing
indeed.
and
yes,
schmutzing.
proper.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about the outfit. What the gold apron is that available? Like, boy, that was so
Yeah.
chic. I love that.
Yeah, we sell the spices and the olive oils and all that. I'm a full service business here. That is not my daughter. That's my daughter-in-law, not my sister-in-law.
Oh,
She married my son.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, no,
And
you look
she's who
great.
I wanted him to marry.
That's always a
And
plus.
she's so great. She's 50 years old, and she's the president of my company, and she's the right man for the job. She's great.
I love that.
And yes, and who
Yeah.
says you can't wear sequins in the kitchen? Yes,
That's right,
right.
Memo.
Yes.
Why not?
That is it.
Why not?
I love it. I
And
have
so
to
what
say-
you got on the bottom of that pan, from all that paprika and the meat juices and the cooked down onions and all that is, like I said before, the balls on the bottom of the pan. And you're going to end up with the most incredible pan juices. And that's what makes a roast turkey is, some people call it gravy. I call it pan juices. It's already all flavored and so delicious. And you take it out of the roasting pan, and then you add your homemade stock, and then you get this.
Yay!
go.
You are a true cook.
And a wealth of
after-
information. A cook after our own hearts. Thank you so much for joining us, for sharing all your great
Thank
tips
you.
with us. It was a
Oh, you're
pleasure to
just
have
darling.
you.
Thank you.
So fun.
Thank you.
Make sure you check
Thank
out
you.
Suzanne's Instagram. She's live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Up next,
Yeah.
you can
Did you
eat sheet
notice on
pan.
when I was cooking the chicken, there was a tequila sitting there.
Oh no.
There you
Well,
go.
Yeah.
Suzanne, will you
Yeah.
do one thing for me? Would you indulge me for 1 second? Could you do
Sure.
the Chrissy laugh? Because
Oh,
it
you
was
mean-
the yes. Oh, you were such a
shoulders.
brilliant, amazing character. Thank you.
That
The
was
eyes.
everything.
I thought, look at, I was ready to start my...
Well, he's got
You
that.
gonna do it
You
too.
got your clothes on.
Look
Look
at
at
that handsome
that.
man with clothing. Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. Next
Well,
segment.
Game for anything.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, we're getting him back.
Suzanne and Alan are sticking around. You won't believe what's coming up next. All right, very good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye, girls.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Guys, up next, you can eat sheet pan meals and make them guilt-free too. Convenience does not equal calories. Find out our best sheet pan meals, what they are, coming up next. Oh my gosh, yeah. We are back, and we're not done showing off all the fantastic ways you can use sheet pans to make delicious and nutritious dinners. Now, when you think sheet pan, you might not necessarily think fish, but they're actually a great way to cook up a whole fish dinner without the splattery mess that you can get when you make it in a pan sometimes. I'm gonna show you how to make a gorgeous sheet pan miso glazed sea bass, ripped from the pages of Eat Your Heart Out. So this is a meal based around sea bass, but you can really use any white flaky fish here. It's honestly, even salmon goes beautifully here. You can use shrimp, you could use chicken, make it your own. But I'm gonna show you how to make a truly fantastic miso marinade. So I have my 2 tablespoons of, I like a mild miso here, a yellow or white miso is great. Then Jamaica's gonna add in some lime juice or lemon juice. I do like a little bit of acid just to break it up. You can use a little white wine vinegar there too if you care about that. Gotcha. This is our famous date syrup that Jamaica is gonna go out and own every last bottle of.
Daphne has a date with date syrup.
I feel like that's the subtitle of the book.
Yes.
I really approve, by the way. It's called Eat Your Heart Out, 10,000 Things to Do with Date Syrup.
There you go.
But also, I have to say, every one of them is totally brilliant.
I think it's a date with Daphne.
Oh, I'll take that
Date
too.
with Daphne and
in
her
both
date.
ways.
All right, and then sesame.
Sesame oil, thank you, madam. Thank you for knowing this recipe. There you go.
I read Eat
I
Your Heart
love
Out.
that.
You may have written it, but I read
That
it.
makes
Okay.
me so happy. I am so happy to hear that. Okay, and you can see how nice and thick this actually comes together. So on the fish, I'm just gonna brush ever so slightly a little bit of this marinade. I still want it to develop nice color, so I'm not gonna be, too generous here, but I want it to have plenty of yummy flavor. You see that I have a little bit of marinade left, and we will not waste this yummy flavor.
No.
Gail chopped up some beautiful baby bok choy here into just halves. This is great so that you create some extra surface area.
Oh, look at that. You just put it all in.
Just toss it in.
Might as well.
I'm telling
Casual.
you, easy, delicious, flavorful, healthy eating. That is what Eat Your Heart Out is all about. A little bit of salt on there too, and how about just a little bit of pepper?
Oh,
Beautiful.
it's gonna be good with that miso once it roasts down and gets a little char on it.
Love it.
It gets sweeter, it condenses that flavor. We can just toss it onto the sheet tray with our fish. Now, the only trick with sheet trays is you don't want to overcrowd the pan because then you risk steaming your veg and steaming your fish, and we're looking to develop beautiful flavor and texture. Thank you, Jamaica. That is perfect, beautiful. Okay, this is gonna go into a 425-degree oven, 10 to 14 minutes. You'll know when, it depends how thick your fish is, that you're really just looking for the level of doneness that you love. You want it to be opaque, flaky, white, perfectly. You can test that with a fork. Let me pop this in our oven.
Easy peasy, I love it.
Easy, right? So simple. And obviously you can swap out veg. You can, if you don't have bok choy, you can use broccoli's beautiful with this. You could use fennel, even just some quartered onions is kind of like a nice saucy mix on here. Look at that, right? It gets that golden brown, beautiful, rich color. It has that kind of toffee caramel essence coming through with your miso bit. Now, let me just show you how you finish this up. Take your beautiful piece of fish and grab a couple pieces of that bok choy to layer on top. You can definitely serve this with some brown rice or another grain of your choosing. I like to garnish with some fresh scallions.
So good.
You tell me
First
what
of
you
all,
think of this.
I am gonna tell you, Daphne.
Yes.
First of all, you make it look so easy. It took 15 minutes, I feel like the whole thing. And the miso really adds amazing richness. It's delicious. It's just like simple, fresh. I could totally tackle this on a weeknight, but I could also make it special for a dinner party. Sign of a good recipe.
I think that's, that's actually a really important note. It's like, yes, weeknight eating, you want it to be so simple and easy to do. And honestly, who has time for like a big production at the end of a long day? But you want it to still feel celebratory as though you were eating on the weekend. And that is very much where my headspace wants to live when I get in the kitchen. I want to get in there, I want to relax, I want to have fun, I want to eat things I look forward to. I want my family to feel nourished and vibrant from our food with lots of energy. I want to fit in my clothes. That's what this book is hopefully trying to do.
All right, I have one footnote to this recipe.
Yes, please.
Everyone should make extra. That miso marinade can turn into the sauce because I'm like getting all of those drippings with miso flavor in there. Just a little tidbit to the recipe.
I love it. I love a Jamaica footnote. That would be my favorite.
There you go. Footnote for you. Okay, so don't go anywhere. When we come back, we've got 3 creative ideas for sheet pan desserts. It's better. Just a little extra.
Welcome to the Great American Dish Off, where we search for the best recipes in the country. Whose dish will win the Great American Dish Off? And today, sheet pan desserts. First up, Kathy from Staten Island.
Hi, I'm Kathy from Staten Island. You may have seen me before sharing my favorite recipes on TikTok. I can promise you that all you're gonna need is one taste of my dessert to be named a winner for this great American dish-off.
Next, Theron from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Hi, I'm Theron, a new mom to a beautiful baby boy and a brand new baking business too. When I'm not on mommy duty, I'm in the kitchen perfecting my cake skills and spreading joy. I can't wait for you guys to get a taste of my delicious sheet pan dessert.
And finally, Candy of Long Island.
Hi, I'm Candy, and baking is my passion. I was always baking for my children, but during the pandemic, I spent more time perfecting my decorating skills. And before I knew it, people wanted to buy my desserts. I love the joy it brings people, and I can't wait to share my sweet pan sheet surprise with the judges.
They're here to contend for the coveted Golden Sheet Pan Dessert Trophy. It's the Great American Dish-Off. Here are our finalists. Kathy says her flaky and buttery sheet pan dessert will lead her all the way to victory. Next, Theron says her sheet pan dessert is bar none and it is the best in history. Oh, wow, okay. And finally, Candy says she put her whole heart into her dessert and knows that the judges will taste it in every single bite. Daphne and Gail will be judging their sheet pan desserts today. What are you expecting to see or taste here, ladies, in these desserts?
I think with a sheet pan, it's just all about creativity. We give you the base, and there are just 1,000 things you can do with it. So I'm just really looking to be wowed with something I haven't seen before.
I'm also intrigued by a play of textures. You know, sheet pan gives you one steady basis to play with, but I don't want you just to settle it flat. I want to see some height. I want to see some build. I want to see some layers of flavor, layers of texture, pattern, shine. Or a good bite.
All right, these ladies demand a lot, and I think these contestants will deliver. Kathy, will you tell us what your sheet pan is made of? What did you do for us today?
I did whipped cream, pudding, vanilla extract. I made a crunchy topping, layers with phyllo dough.
Can we see it? Or is it
yes.
a secret? Oh, wait.
Oh,
there it is. Come on.
it's the Napoleon.
Whoa.
Napoleon.
With vanilla extract and what else?
It has vanilla extract, vanilla pudding, whipped cream, homemade, little almonds, crunchy almonds, so it's crunchy and creamy.
Ooh, now I hear that you have, what, 500,000 followers on TikTok? You're a digital celebrity, some would say. And you got a catchphrase. Tell me, what is it?
Okay, this is all you're gonna need.
All you're gonna need. I like that accent. Where are you
I'll
from?
tell you how it started.
Okay, tell me.
So my daughter started filming me in the pandemic. And there was so many ingredients, and it was only a 60-second video. So by the time I got to saying all the ingredients, the video was almost over. I couldn't say what I was making. So I'm like, I'm just gonna say this is all you're gonna need, and it caught on.
Well, I like it. All you're gonna need. Where's that accent from? Kentucky?
Staten
Just
Island.
joking.
No, Staten Island.
All right. Daphne, will you weigh in on this is all you're gonna need, Kathy's Napoleon sheet pan dessert?
Kathy. You nailed the texture play, but did it in a way that feels more manageable. I love the tendrils of phyllo dough coming through here. I love how crisp it is. I love that it looks rustic, but still really elegant. Love the hit of cinnamon, and I think the amaretto play was a smart one with the little crunchy bits of almonds in there. If I had to suggest anything different, I guess it would just be, you know, there's a lot of gorgeous cream in here. I don't want to lose any of the crunchy, delightful texture of the phyllo dough. I could pare it down a little bit or do a third layer if you wanted to even go that route, just so you get more of that wonderful texture contrast. But I don't even know. Forget about it. It's delicious. It's so good. It's so good.
Forget about it. Like it. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
All right, now Theron. There she is. Okay, so tell us, what sheet pan dessert did you decide to make for us today?
I made a bourbon peach cinnamon crunch bar. So this kind of came about because for Thanksgiving every year, I'm responsible for doing the dessert for my family. And this past Thanksgiving, I made a cinnamon crunch cheesecake, and it was delicious. It was received really well. And so essentially, I've been trying to incorporate this cinnamon crunch topping in everything that I've made since. So just been watching all my cooking shows and cooking competition shows. I've seen a lot of peach being used recently, so I'm very into peaches right now. So I said, let's do both together. And then who doesn't love a little splash of liquor in something? So I added that in there. Me and my husband have a very extensive home bar and even a cocktail contest every year. So I threw that in there just to jazz it up a little bit.
Ooh, and there you have it. And I will just say, I may or may not have eaten one of these when no one was looking. So yes, thank you very much. Gail, will you please weigh in on Theron's Bourbon Peach Cinnamon Crunch Bar?
You know, there's a lot in the title and there's a lot of flavor in these bars. Theron, the bourbon peach brown sugarness of it all is so gorgeous. I love those flavors together. The one thing I would say is it's a very sweet. So there's, you know, a lot of sugar in all the different layers. I think you could sort of pull back the sugar in some ways to let the actual flavors of the rest of the dish shine through. But this is overall creative, gorgeous, and really addictive to eat.
Thank you, Theron. All right, now when we return, it's Mom of 5, Candy, shows us what she does with her sheet pan. And ooh, we're naming a winner when we come back. We're back with the Great American Dish Off Sheet Pan Dessert Edition. TikToker Kathy gave us a Napoleon cake with her sheet pan dessert. And Theron delighted us with a Bourbon Peach Cinnamon Crunch Bar. And Candy, you've got to tell us, what about your sheet pan dessert?
All right, so this is a dessert for all the coffee lovers.
Okay.
It is an espresso infused chocolate cake, light and moist. It has a cream filling with roasted finely chopped hazelnuts, and it's topped off with an espresso Swiss meringue buttercream.
Ooh, now, okay, break down this buttercream. Talk to us more about this, your Swiss meringue. How do you make that?
Sure. So I actually love to use a Swiss meringue because it's really silky and smooth. It's a little bit less sweet than an American buttercream. And so I start with my sugar and egg base to build the meringue, and then you add in the butter and flavor it.
It's so beautiful. I would stick my finger in and taste it, but I don't want to ruin it. It's so pretty. All right, Daphne, please weigh in on Candy's espresso-infused chocolate cake.
There's so much beauty here, perfection and precision of your technique. Your buttercream is perfect. And I have to say, I tasted it the first time, and I thought I was gonna, you eat with your eyes. I thought I was gonna taste chocolate cake, and the subtleness of the espresso flavor is beautiful. The little inner layer of that hazelnut spread and the espresso coming through. Such a adult, mature baking hand to know the right balance of flavor to come through here, so it would really be exquisite. I have no words to say about the icing at all, the decoration at all. The only question mark in my head would be, is it worth dialing up the flavor in the cake, just so that you get even more of that espresso punch? I'm thinking, like, would you put espresso nibs in the mix itself? Would you add a little flavor of that coffee coming through elsewhere? But it is a truly magical cake, and I cannot imagine you ever making this in your house and not having all of your children running and being like, face and cake moments here. So nice.
Thank you, Candy. All right, the competition is fierce. The sheet is gonna hit the fan, but before it does, it's time for the judges to confer and choose a winner for today's Great American Dish Off Sheet Pan Edition.
This was a hard one. Almost impossible. But we have come to a decision. The winner of the Golden Sheet Pan Dessert Trophy is... It's all I'm gonna need, Kathy.
Whoa! Kathy, you did it! Here's your trophy.
Oh my gosh, she's...
I never won anything in my life.
Well,
So this is huge.
You did today.
That was
fantastic.
And you all made moms everywhere so proud. Look what you turned out with a sheet pan. This
Yes.
is insane.
Yes. This
How
is
you feeling?
Thank you.
So gorgeous.
Amazing.
Congratulations.
Wow.
What a work of art, truly.
Thank
Wow.
Aaron, these are coming to my dressing room, lady. Coming up, guys, are you hosting a brunch? We're offering a
Oh
tip
my
for
God,
making
I won?
easy and delicious sheet pan bulk breakfast. Stay with us. Plus, the good list is next. Do you try one of these?
That's
I do. You gotta have one of those. You gotta have one of these. Oh, that's cute. Welcome back to The Good Dish, making sheet pan meals and sheet pan desserts. And our last tip today is how to make a sheet pan bulk breakfast. Okay, listen to this. It's perfect if you want to make pancakes but don't want to spend such a long time making one at a time in a pan. Here's how you get it done. Line a sheet pan with parchment paper, then pour your batter and bake for about 15 minutes. You literally don't have to adjust the recipe at all. Then you just take a cookie cutter or a pizza cutter and you get a ton of pancakes. Just like that. Sheet pancakes.
It is
sheet
literal pancake. Here we
The
go.
literal pancake,
Literal
100%.
pancake. Awesome. All right, now I want pancakes, but I can't have them because now it is time for the good list. Now you see that QR code on your screen? You're gonna open your camera app and hold your phone right up to it, and it'll take you to the recipes from today and more from today's show. And you can also go to gooddishtv.com to get it all, including the answer to what's for dinner tonight? It's our teriyaki chicken with green beans. You could just pick one right off the screen right there. Just,
And I will pick one up right from here and keep on eating it. We'll see you next time for more good food and good dish.
Bye, guys.
Hear that sound?
We are showing you guilt-free sheet pan meals that are easy to make, even easier to enjoy.
Who's up for teriyaki chicken with green beans?
That is nothing but pure, bona fide flavor and juicy chicken.
And
a gorgeous sheet pan miso glazed sea bass. It's delicious.
Plus,
This is so simple.
Suzanne Somers is dishing up her divine roast chicken.
Suzanne, look at that chicken. We are showing you guilt-free sheet pan meals that are easy to make, even easier to enjoy.
Who's up for teriyaki chicken with green beans?
That is nothing but pure, bona fide flavor and juicy chicken.
Plus,
This is so simple.
Suzanne Somers dishes up her divine roast chicken.
We are showing you guilt-free sheet pan meals that are easy to make, even easier to enjoy.
Like teriyaki chicken with green beans.
That is nothing but pure, bona fide flavor and juicy chicken.
Guilt-free sheet pan meals that are easy to make, even easier to enjoy.
Like teriyaki chicken with green beans. Hear that sound?
We are showing you guilt-free sheet pan meals that are easy to make, even easier to enjoy.
Who's up for teriyaki chicken with green beans?
That is nothing but pure, bona fide flavor and juicy chicken.
And
a gorgeous sheet pan miso glazed sea bass. It's delicious.
plus,
This is so simple.
Suzanne Somers is dishing up her divine roast chicken.
Suzanne, look at that chicken. We are showing you guilt-free meals that are even easier to enjoy.
Who's up for teriyaki with green beans?
Nothing but pure, bona fide flavor and juicy chicken.
This is so simple.
Somers dishes up her roast chicken.
We are showing you pan meals that are easy to make, even easier to enjoy.
Like teriyaki chicken with green beans.
Nothing but pure, bona fide flavor and juicy.
Guilt-free sheet pan meals that are easy to make, even easier to enjoy.
Like teriyaki chicken with green beans.